Hi Stephen, how are you? Thanks very much for coming around.
You're welcome. That's
great.
my pleasure.
Yeah. So listen, I think it was last Sunday or thereabouts, I came down to your place and you did a session on me.
That's right.
Using some sound and
Yes.
Something or other. And look, I've just got to tell you, it was just incredible. The next day, I felt energetic. I felt thinking much more positively about things. I was just able to sort of think more clearly and put things together and I worked all day. I was making bread and I made 2 different loaves of bread because we had to go out the following day and I was making food for that. And I worked in the kitchen all day till about 12:30 at night.
Yes.
And it was just incredible. It's great. And even the following morning I got up and I still felt good. And before that I was feeling pretty lethargic, pretty tired, pretty run down. I'd actually had a gallstone attack the week before that, so I was just overcoming that. The next day the pain was gone and I felt great. So just tell me a little bit about this sound thing.
Okay. Well, what I do it's a combination of different approaches to balancing the chakras and the endocrine system, which regulates all the functions of the body. And one of the theories of why we become lethargic and ill is because the flow of energy through the chakras and our endocrine system is deficient or blocked. So what I do through what I call sound attunement is balancing the chakras and endocrine system using a combination of energetic healing with the hands as well as sound, all in synchronicity or resonance with the frequencies, the identified frequencies of the chakras and the endocrine system, so that those 7 chakras each have their own sounds in frequency, but also in terms of vowel sounds. So E, A, I, O, U, A, O, U, and and those can be chanted as well as sung, as well as combined with music and vibration. So what you experienced in the sound attunement was a sound table with speakers, and I had the sounds of didgeridoo music playing and vibrating the table in resonance with speakers that were playing chanting, done by Jonathan Goldman's singers, and combined, it resonates through the body and magnifies the effect of the energetic healing. The energetic healing attunement can be done by itself, but combined with the others makes it much, much stronger and more powerful.
Is it something like, you hear the monks, Tibetan monks and all those, whatever, chanting, and they chant very similar, hey, but of course it's in the... Is that similar?
It's similar. Each discipline, I think, has something similar. They don't always use the same vowels.
Yeah.
The vowel sounds I use were taught to me by Jonathan Goldman in one of his sound healing workshops.
Oh, okay.
And I find them useful because he produces music which is designed to calm and balance the chakras and the endocrine system. So I combine his music with the didgeridoo music, which is produced by someone else, but the frequencies played on the didgeridoo are the same frequencies and sounds that Jonathan uses. And combined, the body just can't help but relax and allow the energy to flow.
So is this something that people have to go to your place to do it, or could they do it at home? I mean, can they get the music from you or
well, the music from Jonathan you can purchase online. It's quite easy to get. But the energetic side of the healing, which is the strength of it, I build what I do around the energetic healing, not the other way around. Sound is useful in resonance with the energy, but it's the energy flowing through the hands that really kicks the flow of the energy through your body. So people can learn that. You can do it on yourself, and I do it at home myself. And people in the place that I learned it on a place called Sunrise Ranch with the Emissaries of Divine Light, and their members meet regularly, and they each do just an energetic attunement on each other prior to the start of each meeting.
Right, okay. So I'm sort of thinking about, my interest is in guys with depression and anxiety and all that sort of stuff and so on. And look, it really helped me tremendously. I felt different altogether the next day. And I was sort of wondering, I'm thinking, well, I wonder if somehow we can somehow use this to help guys that have lost their jobs and
Of course.
they'll be stressing out to the max and going maniac and beating their wives up and all the rest of it, you know.
It's a very calming process, but it's much more than that, because what happens when the energy starts to flow and the blockages are released, the body can then naturally start to heal itself of whatever is ailing it. All of the stress and symptoms that we have in illness are the result of blockages in our energy flow. When you get stressful, tension in the body can then block the flow of energy through that portion of the body. Hence, illness manifests itself in many different ways because the stress or the whatever the factor is that's causing the blockage of flow will affect each individual differently. So if a person has depression and you start getting the energy flowing, it can't help but have an effect. What it is, I'm not sure, because I'm not a professional. I really don't know.
Yeah.
But I do know I've used it. I've had heart failure, I've had diabetes, I've had emotional issues through divorce and also losing my job over time in very stressful periods.
Mm-hmm.
And I've used these techniques to manage my own well-being.
Okay, so it's actually helped you in your life.
Absolutely. That's where the idea came from. I wouldn't dare to try to introduce it to someone else without having had a chance to do it myself first. I'm the guinea pig. And I've read a lot of what other people say, and I've pulled together a whole lot of different things. Resonance is so important in sound.
Right.
You know, when things resonate, the power of sound is immense.
Yeah.
And when you use these different techniques in resonance, the power is similar.
Yeah.
But what's most important about what I do is when the energy starts to flow, the body self-heals. And it heals in ways that only you know you need. So the process itself, the sound attunement, will benefit each individual according to what your inner self knows you need.
Oh, I see. So it's very, very sort of, what can I say, user-friendly.
It is. It
In a
is.
way.
And it's your own self telling you, hey, this is what I need.
Okay. All right, so let's just take an example of a guy. Okay, say that we were able to contact a person who was going through stuff, and we might be able to help you with. I know this is off the cuff, and I haven't sort of ran this past you before, but would it be how would we go about actually teaching a guy how to do this himself? I mean, you can get the music to him. You can put that on a download onto his whatever CD or send it via
Yes.
whatever. It's not so bad, but how would you teach him how to do this?
Well,
what is it? You're talking about the hands, the energy coming.
That's right. So I've run workshops.
What that is.
I've run workshops teaching people how to do it on each other.
Okay.
An individual can learn to use their hands to direct the energy. All they need to do is to ask whatever spiritual being or belief that they feel most comfortable with for help in directing the energy as needed through their body.
Can I just ask you a question?
Yeah.
Like, do you have to believe in the spirit? Because
No.
90% of people don't believe in the spirit. I would have imagined that we've all got this. Well, okay, let me just tell you a bit about. I've done Tai Chi, I've done Taekwondo, I've done martial arts and things, and I've been taught there where we've got this chi, we've got this energy in our bodies, and martial artists use it. My teacher used to use it. I never got it good enough. Is that the similar sort of energy? Like a guy could do it. He doesn't have to believe in spirits or Jesus or God or anything.
No, I say that because there are people who do believe in more than themselves being in the world. And everyone talks to someone inside. And it could be their parents, it could be a friend, it could be an imaginary person who they turn to when they need someone to talk to.
Oh, yeah.
And what I'm trying to say is that we get to a point in our lives where we feel a bit overwhelmed and we need a bit of help. So the process that I use, the attunement, allows for someone outside of ourselves to help. But I'm just a channel. I'm just helping the energy flow. And for the energy to be of service to the person that I'm working for, I call it my higher self, and the higher self, and I speak to Jesus, who's someone who's helped me through life. Who I'm a born again Christian, and that belief is carried with me. I'm not a practicing one, and I don't belong to any group that believes anything in particular other than that there's a higher power, but outside of myself. And I say, please help me direct through the higher self of the person I'm talking to the energy in a way that's most going to benefit them, so that it can heal themselves. The process otherwise is simple. It's a matter of directing the energy with the hands. The energy flows in through the left hand, flows out through the right hand, and it's directing it, and perhaps using your breath to blow it a bit. You start with the base of the skull to get the energy flowing through here, because that's usually a point of restriction. A lot of stress goes in there and a lot of blockages are there, so you start with that. And then you work on the crown chakra. Then you work on the third eye chakra, then the throat, and then the heart, and then the, the solar plexus,
Yeah.
and then the sacral, and then the base.
Yeah.
And then you wipe away the energy. When you're done, go back to getting it there, and you're done. This process, you don't have to do it for a set period of time. You can do it when you have a few moments. You can do it in 2 minutes. You can do it in 5 minutes. You can do it in 15 minutes. You can do it in 20 minutes, half hour, and so on. But you can have a friend who also knows how to do it, who you can teach, who you can do it together with, so they can do it on you, and you can do it on them. And what's important when you do it that way is you're starting to relate to other people and not just keeping everything inside yourself. What I'd suggest with the people that you work with is that you form a group where people do that for each other. Because one of the hard things about any process that brings change, it brings issues that need to be talked about up, but it also brings up old habits. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to have that extra piece of ice cream. I'm going to do something I know I'm not supposed to do.
Yeah, we all know about that, don't we?
But when you have a group of people, they can support each other. And when you meet regularly, and these groups can be a group formed for the purpose of dealing with depression. It could be a group formed as a sewing circle. It could be any number of reasons the group gets together. But it can bring a flow of energy and a bit of closeness into a group of people that's invaluable to them living and working and breathing together.
Do you think it has to be a physical group? I mean, nowadays with COVID and everything else and so on, we've all become pretty familiar with doing things online and Zoom meetings and things.
Yeah, I think it's better. I think it's perfect. I think it's better. It's preferable to be working with people, but it can be one person. It can be two people, and that's a lot.
Can it be done over Zoom, though?
Oh, I'd say with any group, it's something that you have to experiment with to find out. I don't have the answers to all these questions. What I'm looking for is to pass the knowledge on and help form groups of people who are willing to use this to find out what's possible.
Yeah.
Yes, it's probably possible to do it over a Zoom meeting, but I'd suggest that it's good to do it with people who know each other, who have had a chance to meet at some point in the past before, even if it's just a small family gathering, or just a group of very close friends, or whatever, or a sports group, or whatever. But
okay, yeah, sure.
yeah, there's any number of reasons, but when you know each other, there's a certain level of trust.
Yeah.
And I'm trying very hard to get away from the therapeutic model of people helping each other. Oh, you go to a doctor to heal your ailments. This is where people support each other to help themselves, which is a very big difference in how we think about life and health and well-being.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd prefer to see. And anyway, that's my 2 pennies for my thought.
Stephen, that's really great. It sounds like a fantastic thing. I'd like to try it. And so are you happy for me to follow up with you? And
That's right. I'd be happy to facilitate the formation of a group, to teach the basics of that process, but that leave the function of the group for whatever purpose is formed. As I said, I'm not a professional. I cannot help people to solve their problems. But what I'm advocating is that people start working together to solve their own problems together. Because the greatest, most important wisdom that you have access to in your life is inside yourself and not coming from outside. No one can fix your problems for you. Only you can fix it for yourself. But a group context gives you the kind of support you might need to carry through when things get a bit tough.
that's great.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to add?
No, I think that's enough to start.
Thanks very much, mate. It's great to
Yeah,
talk to you.
you're welcome. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to having the next session
Yeah.
with you and
yeah.
where we go from here. It sounds
Well, that's right. Yeah,
great.
I want to get these groups formed, but I do want to have it sound attunement as an established process that people use to help themselves, to heal themselves, and to be thought of that way. That people, hey, let's do that. Let's do the first 5 minutes of our meeting, and we'll do that together.
Okay.
You can get the music, and you can make it part of it. You don't need music at all.
Yeah.
But the more resonant factors that you add into the practice makes it just a little bit stronger.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Because you can use your own voice
Yeah.
to chant as well. So you can do it on yourself while you're chanting, you know?
Okay.